We see Cute Puppy at the start of the day. It's Monday, August 26th. We're heading over to the org. This week is kind of goofy for me. I've got a couple of conferences, so today's going to kind of be the only day that I think I'll be able to be out in front of the org. By the way, if you're in or about Chicago, you can come out any day you want this week. We're going to head over there. We're a lot earlier than usual. It's just that because of the way that my meetings are arranged today, this works out better for us. We should be able to see if there are body riders out. We've got a little over an hour until lunchtime, so they shouldn't be really kind of congregating back towards the org yet. Again, we've seen a slowdown. Now, let me be very clear. Anywhere near the org, it seems to be much slower. Yep, they might be outsmarting me, and they might be getting outside of the zone sooner and all of that stuff, and right, they can be watching the channel. Hi, Osa. So no idea what it is, but it definitely seems like there is far less body routing than there has been. I believe there are far less people here between staff and Sea Org. Howdy, J-Bat. Howdy, D. Hey, James. Well, I think that all of the chatters are probably over in our friend Natalie's channel for a little bit. I assume that she's probably getting out there. Howdy, Corn Freak. It just seems that there's been less people. We've seen people kind of vanish from the org, people that we've traditionally been seeing, right? Haven't seen Anastasia in probably close to 2 months now. Haven't seen the curly, thin, dark-skinned male in about 2 months. I don't think that we've seen the black female that wears the headdress and does body routing in a month and a half. So are they losing people? Are these people being moved to other orgs? Kind of hard to tell. Yeah, I still get to hold our hat as Chicago protesters on the idea that they are not growing the ideal org in any exponential manner right now, right? Our understanding is there are 0 new starts in Chicago since they've opened up their hundreds of $million organization. Right? Miscavige did the ideal org plan 20 plus years ago, right? That was kind of when he broadcast out that we're gonna 10x Scientology. And yes, I am making the Grant Cardone reference there. That is not at all what David Miscavige said, but he did think that they were going to exponentially grow Scientology, and that what it took was to have these ideal orgs. And once they opened up all these ideal orgs, we'd have 9 and 10. Well, there is no 9 and 10, so that'll be fun and interesting to figure out how he sidesteps that landmine when he realizes that, when all the big donors realize there is no 9 and 10. So that'll be cute. Oh, something else that was fun this morning. On my way to the office, I was under an underpass, and it's a really out-of-the-way, obscure location, but there was a Dianetics flyer on the ground. It had been thrice folded over, and it had been out there in the road or out in the garbage for quite some time. Howdy, L. Ron Hub Cult. Hopefully you've been fine. L. Ron Hub Cult put out the request for anybody who saw him making contact with Scientologists up in Denmark. No, at least I can't remember if it's Denmark or the Netherlands, but let's say Northern Europe. To see if there were if you had evidence of consensual relationships or consensual engagements. So I'm not sure if we're still looking for that kind of video, but both he and Scientology up north were asked by the police to provide some information there. Thank you all for being in. Yes, please don't forget about the like button. Check your subscriptions. Most of you that come in early, and I didn't give you guys much chance on this video. I only scheduled it a couple of minutes before we went live. Sorry. I was just looking at this car here because I couldn't tell if they were Publix or not. I only scheduled a little bit before we went live, so I'm sure all of you are subscribed. But if you're watching this on the replay, please check your subscriptions. YouTube has a tendency to unsubscribe people for whatever reason they deem necessary. Coming up to the alley here. All right, this, you can see they're not down at Scientology. They're this side of Columbia. So this is probably Pat's Pizza or Subway that's getting their, that's getting the delivery. Now we'll head over to Clark Street. I'm seeing speed packs here, so I'm guessing that it's probably a moving day at the college. Look at up ahead of us, although that might be Amazon, just the same as. Now there's a lot of cars here with the typical college luggage, which we call the laundry basket. Very, very warm out here this morning. We have a hot couple of days coming up. I think we hit 100 tomorrow. Not sure where DKNY came out of, but you're seeing an awful lot of people come out of the college, right? Howdy, Antics. Yeah, you're seeing just an awful lot of activity here in the college. The blinds are up, but we can get those down quickly. There is nobody, right? There are 0 people in this corridor. We've got Jessica standing there, as well as somebody at the admin desk. There is nobody in the cafeteria. So here we've got Jessica coming up. Hi, you got to close up for the cult? Cult of Scientology doesn't like the light of day? So I think that's important today. So you'll notice, right, they're bringing down the blinds. They can't stay open, right? We can't see the light of day. There's a car alarm going off here. I do see new students. How are you doing? Do you know what this is? No. Always stay away. Are you new? You Columbia moving in? Yeah. Never go in here. Okay. They're gonna try to pass out flyers. They'll look very innocuous. They'll give you, way to happiness, drug-free world. And when they say drug-free world, it's to help keep mental health drugs off of mental people. So just be very, very careful. So thank you. So it is new Columbia students, yep. And we're definitely seeing people, right, walk in here. But yeah, Scientology has already closed their doors because the windows, because they can't see that right now. They're getting UPS deliveries right now. No real reason to put the UPS folks on camera. I do wish that, howdy Susan, I do wish that whoever had their car alarm going off would stop that. There you go. So as we can see, the cult of Scientology has already closed their blinds. They don't like to be open to the public. It's really important that they're able to hide from the public and so that nobody can see that they're empty inside. Yes, I am saying this for all the people that are surrounding me on the sidewalks. All right, we're seeing parents give the farewell hugs to children. Thank you, Antics. Do you have a child student moving in? Do you have a child student moving in? Is one of your one of the students? Okay.
Yeah.
Tell them to be very careful of this place. This is the cult of Scientology. They're going to try and pass them out flyers, things that are very nice. This church is money. It's just a business for the most part. And they've done abuses like child abuse, elder abuse. If you ever want to learn more information, right, the woman on top, she died at their hands because of mental illness.
Oh my God.
This one, he did auditing, which is the idea that you do therapy talks with people in the church, and then they hold it against you as blackmail so that you can't ever leave in that space. Children in a room listening to adults talk about the most perverse things in the world, and they have to stay in there. So be very, very careful. I hate that they only allow freshmen in this dorm now. So every year I've got to recycle and educate. And again, I'm not saying that they're unintelligent. It's if you're uninformed about what's going on here,
Right. I can understand.
it looks very simple at the earliest ages. So.
Okay. I understand exactly what you're saying.
And by the way, have a nice day. I'm sorry.
And thank you.
Yes. Yes.
I don't have my purse.
So we're going to be able to hand out a lot of cards this morning. Right, and the first response was, no, I didn't know what this was. And I do want people to be educated in regards to what's going on here. Right, if I just look down here, and I don't want to keep it down there for that long, but you're definitely seeing right there, it's a horde of young adults moving into the organization. Papa, please get better. Now, what I don't know, we saw Jessica and one of the admins at the desk. Jessica is Div 6 for sure. I don't know what people at the front desk would be. So here we have one of the custodial guys just walked up the stairs. Howdy. So right, we did see that as soon as I came up, the cult had to close all the windows because they don't want the public to be able to see what's going on inside their cult. I'm just going up in the air so that we're not showing everybody on film. Howdy. No, you're fine. Don't let your children know anything about this. This is a very dangerous cult. So do you know what Scientology is? So, so make sure that you're telling her. Yep, let her know everything we can. Thank you. No problem. So the parents were right. We know we won't. We'll let them know. Howdy, Halgear. Now, what will happen is, right, they will convert some students early on, and the students are going to go in there and they're going to pass out those flyers. We just have to hope that our education is more pervasive than theirs. I know. Delivery folks get a pass. Thank you, Janelle. Thank you, Sue. Thanks for joining. So, yeah, let me remind you, right, of what we've got here. So, the scan code is going to take you to the website. Oh, we just saw one of the Scientologists trying to come out, but they won't come out in front of us. That's going to show some of the abuses that we've got there, and then the xenu.net. Let's see if they're lazy and just decide they want to go out the other locked door. Anything positive to share about your cult? Nothing positive about the cult of Scientology? Church won't let you talk about the church? That's probably a cult. I am definitely going to lose my voice today. Sue Herman, welcome. Thank you. Folks, the only real advantage to being a member, and I appreciate it, right? It helps me to, cover finances much better, and I appreciate that, right? We've got the cards, we've got the cameras, everything of that nature, train tickets, when we're traveling to other orgs as well. But it's really just a way that I wanted to allow people to, if you want to show support and you wanted to be vocal about it, the memberships was a way that you could do that, and then we give you the emojis there as well to play around with. JBAT has a lot of new emojis for me, and I'm incredibly lazy, and I haven't sorted through those to figure out how we can swap some of our emojis out. So again, we've got the cult having closed their blinds as early as possible so that they can't let the public see what's going on inside. So Jessica just left. Jessica's got the nice stylish sweater cape look going on. Susan, thank you so much. Bless you. I know. Don't ever go anywhere near this group.
What?
It's a cult of Scientology. It's just a money-hungry group. They're going to send you in, and they're very abusive. If you ever want to learn more about what they do, this is just a few of the crimes that they're involved with.
Oh, yes, please. Actually, thank you.
No problem. And it's always freshmen. They always put freshmen in here, and I'm worried that I have to keep on and I'm not saying that you're unintelligent. You're probably misinformed, right, as to what's going on there. So.
Won't go near it. Don't worry.
No. Thank you. So both of them came back and asked for the card. By the way, I'm a really bad person. That JBAT really did a lot of hard work, and I haven't taken the time. And it's mostly that I keep on forgetting about it, right? So what'll happen is I'll say, hey, cool, when I get home tonight, I'm going to go look through I'll go look through those. And by that time I get home, I've totally forgotten that that's what I was supposed to do. We just saw somebody come down the stairs with their briefcase. Don't ever go in here. This is a very dangerous cult. No problem. Just want to make sure. Yeah, he gave the hangman sign when I mentioned it. So I'll go across the street and show you. I'll give you a terrible vertical view of this right now, but the entire part of that black building, so what is that, 10 stories? As well as the concrete floors above the retail stores. So the retail stores, on the ground floor, it's retail, but up above, these are connected, so all of those are also dormitories. So it's 10 floors and 3 floor plates, right? So it goes from here all the way down to, oh my gosh. Nothing positive to say about your cult? Is this how you sneak out? Got to sneak out real quick? Anything positive to share about your church? Is there nothing positive about the cult of Scientology? Sorry, so you can see the subway sign down there? You've got to get all the way down to Subway in order to, that's the far edge of this building. So 1107, looks like they've all kind of come out for lunch. A couple of them are going into Urban Pantry. I'm going to have to go into my backpack because I think I'm going to run out of cards pretty quickly here today. And yeah, that is something that if you look across the members uniformed, whether they're Sea Org or whether they're staff, again, I don't like to really get into that debate. I know some of them are actual staff because they've just self-declared it on their Facebook pages or whatever. That there are people that look like they're not even college age, all the way up through senior, right? People that should be on welfare and retiring in their golden sunset years. I'm going to unload for just a second. I'm reaching into my bag just to get more cards out. I need to check my other card. Don't ever come in here. Don't ever come into it's the cult of Scientology. Make sure you never come in here. Good. Thank you. If I'd known there were so many people coming in today, I probably would have brought a sign out, but we'll have to do this retail today. Just so you know, don't ever come in here. No problem. Good. Anything positive to share about your church? Is there nothing positive about the cult of Scientology? How hard it is to find a positive attribute about your cult?
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. And by the way, I generally keep it off if you're just walking by, I'm going to try and keep you guys off film as much as possible.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Cross? Okay.
It's the cult of Scientology. They traffic in human trafficking, child abuse, mental disorders. Yep. That guy went into Paisans. Folks, my head is on a swivel, so I apologize. I'm not really reading the chat. Well, it feels like there's a lot of people that are ill lately, but I hope they're definitely feeling better. Last night, declared Dave and I did the OT3 process, kind of reading through what it takes to become OT3. Right, and OT3 wall of fire, so we're seeing Xenu, we know that we're bringing all of the bad thetans and the overpopulated galaxy back to Earth. How you doing? As well as that, in OT3, you're starting to understand that there are body thetans that are all over you, and you've got to get these body thetans off. Right, so you've got cooties for the most part. And Scientology thinks that you can talk these cooties away. Just confront and shatter them. Yeah, so it's I have to re-educate every semester now. No, so the school is, I'll say this, they'll tell you that they're not in bed, like the dean will tell you, we don't allow Scientology in there, but they let Scientology in there. So I'm disappointed with how well they police this. Right? If they convert one of the students and a student goes in there, that's fine, but when a Scientology staff member goes in who's not a student, you should not be able to be in that building without being a student. So please, let the dean of students know that you're not happy about this. Thank you. We've got the alarm going off again. Are you okay that women can't report crimes against them in this church? You okay with the human trafficking? Okay. Let me see if he actually tries to go into Columbia College. Oh, he did. He did go into Columbia College. We've got one of our staff members coming back. Howdy, Selma. See if we can get a good shot of that. Anything positive to share about your church? Does the church let you talk about the church? That probably makes it a cult. Hi, guys. Seeing somebody else heading out for lunch. You know, on the way here, I had a bit of a rant saying I haven't seen as many people, and I think that they're less populated than they've been. I am seeing an awful lot of new people here. Now, I don't know if today is a high staff day, right? Because again, as you can see, right, you've been seeing this the whole time. We've just been seeing new students flow in and flow out of the org. Was this a day that Scientology wanted to be out here in force so that they could indoctrinate people on these lowest levels? How you doing? Howdy, Kathy. And yeah, I'll say this, that whether we want to call it SPTV community or anti-Scientology, I'm a big fan that 99% of the time we're targeted against Scientology. Yeah, we mess up every once in a while, and we decide to self-inflict wounds, but the overarching elements of this community has always been anti-Scientology. So the Chicago Department Transportation, right? You can see the guy in the vest down there. He's been taking pictures, but I think he's really taking pictures of the dumpsters. He also probably doesn't happy that the UPS truck is out here. This is a day where we've got a lot of cars trying to get as close to the university as possible, so that the students don't have to walk 2 miles with their luggage and with their apartment stuff. You're fine. Don't ever go in there. Very dangerous. Es una secta. Yeah, Kathy, you know what? I'm YouTube native today, so I can't tap on these comments, but I agree with 100% what you just said, Kathy, right? That this is a target-rich day. And J-Bet, I think he actually did go in the wrong door. He was, normally, I'll say I have great powers. I usually don't have good enough powers that I can draw them out once they've got their hand on the door handle. And he did walk into Columbia College afterwards, right? So this is Dwight Loft for Columbia College. Do you guys have like Facebook parent groups or anything like that?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm not on Facebook.
All right. Okay.
It must be.
Yeah, I just want to see how well I want to get the message out, because when I'm not here, they're going to be out here on the sidewalk passing out these most innocuous flyers, Way to Happiness. They look very cheerful, very bright, and at the lowest layers, I don't really care about their beliefs. I care about their crimes.
Sure. Yeah.
Right?
I'm with you.
So-
And you're with Columbia?
I am not with Columbia.
Okay.
I'm usually out here. So Columbia doesn't want anybody anti or pro.
Uh-huh.
Columbia's Dean of Students will tell you they don't allow Scientology in. I will tell you that I've seen Scientology go in there.
Okay.
So I don't like that they're able to proselytize
Sure.
in
And so
there.
who are you with?
I'm just against this organization.
Oh, I
I'm an
see.
independent person that I don't, so I know people that have escaped, and by the way, when you have to leave a church and they call it
I
escaping,
know, that's pretty.
they spent hundreds of millions of dollars to build this building, and they have 0 new members since they opened it in March. And that's why we come out here and protest. We want to make sure that they keep that number flat at 0.
Awesome.
Thank you. Grand Ziloff, and sorry, I probably missed a letter there. The cards are not bilingual, but I do need somebody to help me with that. I think it would be a better idea if I did have, I would say Spanish is probably the only other language that we could think of. I just don't know if there's much density in languages outside of English and Spanish. Now, on this side, I guess if anybody, the proper nouns wouldn't need a translation, but if somebody can help me out with the what is mental abuse, what is child abuse, what is elder abuse, that would be helpful. On the other side, I don't know if Xenu.net has anything Spanish on it as well, but it's really, right, learn more, ask them about Xenu, or ask them about. And if you do go to the scan site, you'll end up, you know what, I don't have sptv.space on there. I'm going to do that as well. So you know what, thank you. If somebody could send me an email and remind me to add sptv.space links to WindyCityThetanWatch.com, I would greatly appreciate that. And also, I guess I could use Google, but I always worry about Google Translate. If there is somebody out there who wants to help me translate some of the articles to Spanish, I can give you authorship, allow you to come in as an author, and you can duplicate those articles in Spanish. Yeah, so the website has redirects to SPTV Foundation. So let's kind of go over that a little bit. So this is not necessarily Scientology. This is more Dianetics. So this is the original Hubbard Communications organization or office that we're seeing there, and so it's the the pyramid scheme of Dianetics. But that's really, it kind of predates Scientology. And then over here you've got Scientology with the S and then the two triangles, ARC and KAS. Again, I try to give grace to the people that are not wanting to live their life on camera. One thing I have heard in the past is that, hey, you draw attention to this, don't you think you're going to bring people in there? No, I definitely think that the attention that I draw for them is not something that's making people curious about why they would want to go in there. I do think that some of the college kids kind of go in there on a spoof or on a lark to kind of mess with them when they know that, because I'll just say that that's not uncommon for the age group there. So, and one of the other things is that this frosted glass is new. This was not something that would have been here in January when they were first building it out. Now, granted, it was boarded over. But once the protests started in LA, they started using this frosted glass. And you can tell, right, that it's just, they went to Home Depot and got frosted glass, and they're going to have to redo it pretty soon because this is kind of falling apart. This has been clear the whole time. It's frosted up top, but that was meant to be there to be a logo presentation. This door is almost always locked. And you've got the same frosted glass over here. You can see you've got their signage for if you're going to come in, come and talk to the public first. Right up here, we've got their massive high-powered camera. So every once in a while, I like to show them the Xenu card, right? So let those folks at OSA understand they can find help as well. OSA, if you want to go to Aftermath, go to Aftermath. If you want to go to SPTV Foundation, go to SPTV Foundation. There are plenty of people that want to help you get out. Thank you, Justice. Howdy, Jennifer. You're fine. I just saw that they had, one of the films that they have there has the Jewish Star of David on it, right? The old, all religions are welcome, which is true until you go past course 1. Thank you, Patrick. I will tell you that Target is making a lot of money today. A lot of the students, so if we go about 3 blocks down this way, you're going to get to there's a pretty large Target down there. And the students are then, right, collecting either the paper goods, paper towels, napkins, bottom side towels, sheets, blankets, pillows, of that nature. So at the end of the day, this wouldn't violate zoning because the government considers them to be a charitable organization, right? And just a reminder, the government doesn't think they're a church. The government says they're a charitable organization. It's the institution itself that declares themselves religious. So the government doesn't declare the Catholic Church a church. They declare the Catholic Church a charitable organization. The Catholic Church says we are a religion or we are a church. So at the end of the day, this is an organization that has charitable status, right? And therefore there wouldn't be any conflicts in regards to what's going on here. Now, if one of the members in this place was able to be convicted of abuses, then yeah, now that person can't be here, right? Or if there was a collection of people who were abusing, then maybe there is an argument to be made that this church promotes its members to do things that are illegal and should not be next to a college dormitory, especially since this college dormitory is all freshmen. So every year it's going to recycle new people. I would say that we've been 50-50. Some of the people understand what this place is. Others are very, very surprised by what it is. Do you understand what this is? Yeah, the Constitution itself says that the government cannot declare a church, right? We were looking for religious freedom when this little uprising against England took place almost 300 years ago. Wow, it's been a long time. Well, 250. And it's just ratified into the Constitution that the church will never support, the government will never support a church. And churches need to be separate from the state, right? It's the separation of church and state.
And we don't have a fourth roommate right now.
Howdy. Jennifer, I think you'll find this group rather forgiving, helpful, generous. No need to say you're sorry.
Yeah.
I've always been very, very grateful that the people that have decided to take up residency in this channel have been the adults in the room, right?
Well, if you take my backpack, I'll take the lanyard. Can you push this up? Go here.
Let's see what time it is. If we think about it, right, you've got The Methodist Church is right there in the Central Business District. You've got several Catholic churches, a couple of synagogues. Are you okay that women can't report sexual abuses against them in this church? Doesn't that seem wrong? Thank you all. The watch is buzzing. I'm seeing the emails coming through. I appreciate that. Be very careful. Don't ever go in there.
I know.
All right.
Thank you.
No problem. Howdy. Sorry, kind of running through some of the questions. Yeah, my hope is that Amy's correct, that their crimes will take them down. One of the things, if you ever look at the charitable code statutes, and Jerry Armstrong is one who brings this out quite a bit, that the idea that in order to be a charitable organization, you have to do two things. You have to provide good for the community, and this cult doesn't provide any good for the community. Do you want to learn about what they are? Here are some of the crimes that this church commits.
Oh, I already know.
All right, no problem. Be very careful. Thank you. Yes. So he had said that he already knew about that. Sorry, you have to do good for the community, and you can't promote crimes. You can't commit and promote crimes. Their own scripture, if we want to call it scripture, somebody in San Francisco really wants to get a hold of me. Their own scripture in here, when they talk about fair gaming, they say you can lie, steal, and destroy. Stealing is a crime in America. So how is it that their statutes say that you can steal and they're still considered a charitable organization? Sorry, when I say statutes, scripture, philosophy, written bylaws. Yes, folks, oh hell no, suddenly lost her husband over the weekend. If you're capable and that's something that you feel good with, please head over to Oh Hell No's channel. And I think there are several places you'll find that I think she's got a GoFundMe going on over there. Yeah, and even the front groups, right? The front groups like Narconon, they've been found to actually be, even though they tout themselves to be anti-drug, Narconon has been found to do many criminal elements just themselves. You'll notice they're also very deceptive. They don't want you to know that Narconon is part of Scientology. Now, if you go to the Scientology site, you'll see all the front groups. But if you go to Narconon's site, or if you go to CCHR, or if you go to the Way to Happiness Foundation, you're going to find out that it's really hard to see the association with Scientology. Howdy. that even the addresses that they put on some of that false propaganda is places like purchased P.O. boxes. And then it's not until you go to the legal disclaimers that you find out that their address headquarters are inside of the L. Ron Hubbard Communications building, right there in Hollywood. Seeing numbers on the bin. I wonder if it's like a library card system where you've got to kind of check out these speed packs. Thank you, Susan. I'm going to take a lap around the block. It's 11:38. We're not going to see people coming back yet, but if some Scientologists do sneak back in, there might be a tendency for them to say, hey, he's not out front anymore, and they'll potentially raise those blinds. So for those of you that might be new to the channel, right, you've got the entrance in the front, and then it's basically a solid wall of buildings. Without going through the inside of a building, you can't get from the street to the alley. And this street happens to be 2 blocks long. There is no east-west bisector between Harrison and Polk. So what I'm doing is walking up to Harrison, then I'll walk to the back alley. And then we'll take a peek there, maybe look at the trash can. Somebody's going to get a delivery in there. This does make it a little bit more challenging to get down the alleyway. We'll see what's down there. The reason that they're backing down, right, is because at the far end of the alleyway, there is somebody else, another truck in there, and it looks like, yeah, there's a crane, so they're lifting something up to the roof of that building. All right, I'm not really going to be able to go down I don't want to go down in the alley and compete with him as he's trying to move. He's under enough stress trying to go backwards and stay off both the walls. We'll head over to Dearborn. It is warm out here today. Very, very warm. I believe some people would call it hot. Good morning.
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Now, oftentimes, one of the lunch places they're going to go to is Flaco's Tacos over here. Some of them will go to the 7-Eleven here and just grab a grab and go type lunch, whether it's a sandwich, a hot dog, slice of pizza. Let's head down Dearborn real quick. I mentioned up near the top of the show that today, many blocks away from here, I did see the Scientology's DirecTV flyer. It was very well trashed up, so it had probably been there for a couple of days. But it was torn and in one of the viaducts underneath the Edens Expressway. I'm sorry, underneath Congress Expressway. You'll notice that as I approach people that are just walking down the street, I try to give them a little bit of grace, turn the camera away. I know that that's not an awesome presentation of view for you, but again, I don't want the neighbors to be able to in any way side with Scientology and that, oh, they're so disruptive out there protesting. And again, I'm telling you, this is my style of protesting, not others. I'm not telling you can or cannot protest anyway. I just feel more comfortable doing this. And the less enemies you obtain while you're protesting, probably the better off you are. Thank you, JVET. And I do think that that's true, right? I mean, I think that people gravitate towards the things that they either agree with or enjoy watching. You know, it's really hard to say enjoy watching protesting Scientology, right? That there's nothing positive about Scientology. And I'm not sure it's an entertainment value. I think it's more an educational value. But just to know that there's people out there supporting me, rooting for what I do, and maybe I'm saying that incorrectly, but my thinking is that if you're subscribing, if you're giving me the watch hours, if you're paying YouTube to buy David Miscavige's commercials, then you're cheering for me, and I'll take it. If you ever want out, let me know. Again, I have very little hope that anybody is ever going to take me up on that offer. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to grant the offer. Yeah, there have been several places where there's been these clusters of deaths at Narconon. In that they were either misadministering the drugs or they were withholding, forcing people. I'm going to sneeze. Sorry, folks. Oh, I got to do OT3 over again. It's important. Your body reacts physically to many drugs, and stopping cold turkey can be dangerous on many of those particular drugs. And the Narconon protocol is pretty much just stop, right? So you're going to have people who actually, whether it's the withdrawal symptom or withdrawal syndrome, are going to suffer from Scientology's protocols in regards to, or Narconon's protocols in regards to how to stop drugs. All right, I think we've got new people, not a lot. So there must have been a move-in hours that was pre-lunch, because it has slowed down, right? There's been an awful lot less people pulling up here and walking in. The blinds are still down. So, right, the cult is still hiding from the public. They don't want us to know what's going on here.
Moms need to catch their breath for a
That's what you had youngins for. Now youngins
Do we have enough?
Yeah, yes.
That's what happens when you move your whole life across the country, I suppose.
Are you in a quad too?
Yeah.
Nice. There's going to be some negotiating, I believe.
So I'm thinking reload everything not missing days. Like that is heavy as you know what.
All the loose stuff.
Here, let me do that. You breathe.
Because rollies are going to be easier to, move.
Is it Neo? Yes.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! How are you? Oh my god!
Are the kids aware of what this is?
What
So do your children know what this is? So this is the Church of Scientology?
Oh yeah.
It's absolutely a cult, so please make sure that...
We saw that going in when we were like YouTubing.
All right.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. No,
Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you.
How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Keep your children out of here. Keep your children out of here. This is very dangerous.
Wait, what is it?
This is the cult of Scientology.
Oh, the church.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about your phone. I was like, I did it. No Scientology.
We just got our van.
So here's one of the people that supports human trafficking and child abuse. Are you okay that women can't report sexual abuse occurrences in this church?
Yes. Oh yeah.
If you ever want to know any of their crimes, here's just a collection of their crimes if you ever want to see it. I just gave you the message.
Second, yeah, she said that they've already. Oh, I'm gonna hold up. Back.
Yeah, I do think it's a shame that the school isn't really trying to educate themselves on what their neighbors are. Now, there is the, hey, do we have to be kind to our neighbors type problem, right? That, well, they are our neighbors, so let's figure out if we can be with them. But I don't understand how you can forgive them the transgresses like child abuse, child trafficking, elder abuse, the mental neglect that this church is doing. So how does an educational organization not know how to research what their neighbors are and how to protect the students of their student body?
No, you're good. I didn't mean to make you.
I will say that I'm pleasantly surprised that now it's far more than half that understand that, oh yeah, we've told our kids not to, and when they were researching that their children would be in here. Howdy, Nita. Thank you so much for joining.
Hey, we wanted that's kind of insane. Yeah.
I agree. Yes, we do need another moth. Now, my hope is that we will see people. I think that Shannon always had a collection of students that would kind of help inform her, and I'd be more than happy to try to figure out how do I collect a group of students here who want to protest, want to help share the information. right? So we've come here today. You've got Columbia College, Dwight Lofts. The students are moving in for the semester, all freshmen. All right. I'm going to give kudos for the one trip process. Nice.
That is cool. Smarter, not harder.
Yes. Oop.
Do you want the two suitcases? Because those are going to be the easiest to roll. And just have them stacked in a high little backpack.
Does the church let you talk about the church? If you can't talk about it, it's a church. That's not freedom. You're on the bridge to total freedom and you're not free. You're fine. All right, folks, I kind of have to get back to the office. Got some clients coming up. Good job, J-Bat. And also, I don't know, I might actually have more slots for emojis as well. So the memberships are rising, and I appreciate that as well. So if there's, are there anybody, is there anybody else there out there streaming? Oh, you know what? I'm going to stay past the top of the hour, just so all of the Scientologists come back. But yeah, go ahead and do the room raid, but I'm going to stay out here making sure they don't think it's safe to bring the blinds up. Does the church let you talk about the church? What have you read that's not produced by the church? That's not freedom. You're trapped. Still trying to keep the camera above anybody who's just walking down. What's the last thing you read that wasn't LRH? Are you really free? Ah, the old Chadwick. It's probably time we retire the Chadwick. We haven't seen him, boy, since late March, early April. I'm sorry, late April, early May. Oh, I didn't know that watch hours also improved that, but I definitely saw that the number of members gives you more slots. Thank you. What's the last thing you read that wasn't LRH? If you're free, you could read anything, right? Bridge to total freedom, right? Got about 5 more minutes before, and again, hopefully you're all over in Miss Kim's, but I'm gonna hang around for another 5 minutes, and then I will go over and join you all in Miss Kim's room. Thank you, Kathy. Let's head over and give Miss Kim some support. Make sure you're subscribing there. Give her a like.
Don't get in the subway, so I didn't know if you wanted to reach.
Maybe they have an open house.
Don't ever go in there. I think she was being very sarcastic, but she said, hey, they have an open house today. Thank you, Patrick. So while there would have been, the windows would have been open earlier when the students were first arriving, since I've come, the window's been down, so we've been out here for what, an hour and 15 minutes? They've had the blinds down. We've been able to educate many of the parents and students that are walking in over here. Everybody's had a positive response. I haven't had the please don't put my kids on film or anything. You're fine. Even when I have had parents who have come out here and told me that, hey, my kids are uncomfortable being on camera, when I explain to them what crimes this church is accused and committed, accused and convicted in many situations of doing, they're more than happy that I'm out here helping educate. We've got our blinds girl coming back. Now I'm going to say that I don't think she's going to make it in time. Hey, Mary Z. How you doing? Anything positive to share about your church? Nothing positive about the cult of Scientology? Oh, sorry. Sorry, kind of got my head swiveling back and forth. Mary Z, we're heading over to Miss Kim. I just wanted to stay past the top of the hour when all of the Scientologists would be returning. As they return, if I'm still out here when they return, they'll leave the blinds down for a little bit longer. If they notice that I'm not here when they return, they might quickly bring the blinds back up. So I'm staying just a little bit longer to see if we can ensure that the blinds stay down. Oh, sorry about that. Now, Mary Z, I know that they're actually struggling to pay their utility bill, and they've had local public Scientologists complain about the idea that they've got to pay $30 for parking to come down here nowadays, whereas when they were up in Lakeview, it was mostly free parking. So since we've gotten here, the cult has pulled down their shades. They don't want to be shown to the public. Those two have, I think they're like not necessarily RAs, but they're probably people who are doing like tours of the building. So I definitely want to get a bug in their ear. Have a good day. Howdy. Have you warned your kids about it?
Yes.
Okay.
They know.
Yep. Anything positive to share about the church? Nothing positive about your cult? My audience will be more than happy to hear anything positive you can say. Just in case you didn't hear those parents, yes, they know. They've been warned. We'll hang around a couple more minutes. Now, I haven't seen Jessica come back. And I definitely saw more leave. Now, very possible they came in the back door, right? Some people don't like to have to go past the words of protestation. Howdy. Curious, big fella's kind of giving me the eye. Howdy, Traveling Panda. We're just about shut down. We're going to head over to Miss Kim, but I've been here for a little over an hour. And we've seen a lot of students coming in. We're about to see the custodian from Scientology come back out. If you ever want to get out, let us know. We can help you. So many ex-Scientologists actually having an enjoyable life. All right, folks, I kind of got to head out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to head by the bodega to see if there's any flyers there today. Let's go say hi to Miss Kim. Thank you all for coming by. I know that normally I'm here around this time, but I just came out earlier. I would say it was rather fortuitous. We were able to help educate an awful lot of the Columbia students and their parents. Fortunately, many of them knew about the organization. Many of them had already warned their children not to go in there. So definitely appreciate that. Their blinds have been closed since I got here this morning. Yeah. Yes. Do I understand that once they realize I'm not out front, they're going to raise those blinds up? Yeah, I do. But I'll continue to do what I can. And if it's reaching one person at a time, it's reaching one person at a time. The thing that I want to always have people remember, right, and Phil Jones really did a great breakdown of this, that Phil Jones said that he got his siblings in, and then his siblings are still activists. His sister is still an active recruiter. And the idea that had he been prevented from going in, that his sister wouldn't have gotten in. And had his sister not gotten in, all of the people that his sister recruited would not have gotten in. So yeah, there are times where it feels like, it's such a struggle that it's a lot of work to help one person at a time. But it is effective. And I love that collectively, the Chicago protesters have really shut down the Chicago org. There are no new Scientologists in Scientology that have made new starts or fresh starts here at the Ideal org in Chicago. if you ever want to come out and protest, you have any questions, concerns, you want to know some tips and tricks that have worked for me, please let me know. WindyCityThetanWatch@gmail.com. More than happy to help. You know, I want everybody to realize that I don't get, I'm not the only one that gets credit for there being no new Scientologists. You know, before I leave, I just want to say one more thing, right? So we're at the immigration courthouse right now. So look at all these people taking their first steps in America, or getting a visa, or trying to get permanent residency. Scientology probably considers all of them good fodder, right? Less educated, more susceptible, don't have a firm footing in the United States. So let's see if we can take advantage of the immigration, or the immigrants. You know, I like that, Twyla. Yeah. When they come in, that look at all of these non-Scientologists that are willing to talk to me, and you can't have a comm cycle. I might have to turn my camera when I go off in here, or go in here. Again, it's private property, so I don't have the right to film in there. It's a privilege. I do have a card ready. I don't know how good the English communication will be in there, but we'll give it a shot. And again, I'm only going in there if we see that they've got flyers in there. I don't know how I can actually just turn off the camera. Oh, it turns out, right, no flyers today. So if we look in there, there's no flyers. All right, folks, I'm gonna go ahead and shut down. I'm gonna head over to Miss Kim's channel. Thank you all for being here. Again, comment with any criticisms, any advice, any concerns. And, and we'll go from there. Thank you, JVAT. No, seriously, I promise this time. Take care, Patrick.